Alright, we are ready now. We need a blacksmith. Like, that's priority number one there. We need a blacksmith. Unfortunately, you have to go in the same direction to get either blacksmith, which is kind of, seems like kind of a overlook sort of thing. But we'll do that. We'll go grab ourselves a blacksmith. Are you a mimic in New Game Plus? You are a mimic in New Game Plus. Thank you, Dark Souls 2. So if you've ever wondered why grab boxes suck so much ass, I'm happy to tell you. Grab boxes operate, I think, on the same premise as backstabs. And you ever be playing Dark Souls PvP, especially if you're using a rapier, or if your opponent's using a rapier, and they run behind you, and they go for the backstab, and you kind of like walk around them, right? And then they go for the backstab, but their character's locked onto you, so he kind of turns with you, right? And then he hits you, and then all of a sudden, you're both teleported back here, and you get backstabbed. Ooh. Right? It's because the backstab hit, right? The backstab attack made contact with you. And so that triggers the grab. And it's the same with enemies that have grab boxes. Their entire hitbox becomes a trigger for the grab. Not just the part that's focused on, you know, looking like it grabbed you, but all of it is tied to this grab animation. So if you get clipped by it, like even if you're like on the other side of the damn map or whatever, if you get clipped, you get grabbed. Not the most not the most enjoyable not the most enjoyable or immersive mechanic, but now you at least know the reason for it, right? So we've left Majula. We start wandering in another direction. And we have found the Forest of Fallen Giants. Man. Much safer to fight these things from behind. Look how safe it is. Look how safe it is back here. Uh-oh. Damn it. Yeah, for a minute it was, he kind of just like, maybe he had an itch and he just turned around so I could scratch it. He was like, yeah, right there. Right there. That's the one. That's the spot. It's all ogre. Yep, it's all ogre now. You know, I don't think we bled that thing out. I don't think he bled. You'd think a big fella like that. You'd think we'd get, you know, bleed on that. But no, he does not bleed, apparently. Or maybe the whip doesn't do enough to proc it fast enough. Maybe he does bleed, but he's not going to bleed from the whip. So the Forest of Fallen Giants, being protected by infantrymen and one of those cyclopses. Cyclopods. Cyclops. Hey, I can power stance now. Look at me! I'm power stancing. It's not what I meant to do, but whatever. It's cool that you can buff the Puzzling Stone Sword. I've never tried. I've never, like, seriously used it, like in a run or in PvP. But that's pretty dope. This jerk up here throwing bombs at us. He has got to go. He has got to go. That's funny. my punch had a fire effect on it. My punch had a fire effect on it because my weapon was buffed. You can make this jump across, right? It's just very precise. Soul of a Nameless Soldier and 10 throwing knives. The throwing knives are nice, because we're kind of doing a Belmont sort of thing. It's weird that the Estoc has the straight sword dual-wield power stance, because it's supposed to be a thrusting sword, but it has slashing moves. That's a little odd. Hey, what's up, Paku Pori? Tons of broken straight swords. I wonder how the damage works. I wonder if the power stance, the stock, is doing slash damage, or if it's still doing thrust damage. I should consider a different straight sword for this build. Then we're using the Hide Knight sword because this was a Hide Knight build. But now that we've kind of like evolved, we should think about... Ow. We should think about getting a different straight sword. I really, really love the Fume sword. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I really like the Varangian sword. But that one's kind of a... That one's kind of a what do you call it? Crapshoot. Because it's just a drop. There's no way to get it. You have to, like, farm it. Can't power stance the sword and the whip. The puzzling stone sword and the whip. That would be dope. Game won't let me, though. 150. 100. Now, you get 90 lightning damage off that, right? Oh. I picked this hammer because it kind of looks like what's his name's hammer from the Netflix series. What was his name? Hector? Yeah. Archdrake Mace? Archdrake Mace is nice. It's like a Ow. It's like a blunt damage lucerne, and that rules. Blunt damage is famously pretty OP in Dark Souls 2 in terms of, like, you know, PvE. Because, you know, a lot of the bosses are dudes in armor. And dudes in armor, if there's one thing they hate, it's strike damage. I wonder if I can power stance the whip and, like, literally anything. Can whips power stance? Like, I'm sure you can power stance a whip with a whip. But can a whip power stance with, like, anything? That's not what I meant. Not what I meant at all. Whips can only power stance with whips. Man, that's sad. All right, let's talk to this old hag.
Buy something, anything. Oh, come now, help an old woman and buy something.
All right, we'll take one blacksmith's key. And one fragrant branch of yore. And we'll take, some bombs.
Take these, if you want them.
Covetous silver serpent ring +1. She seems weird.
My name is Melentia.
What's up, Melentia?
You're a stranger to this land. Oh, we get as strangers these days. Everybody's gone and run off. Dranglake's been a pile of rubble since the war, fought long, long ago. And the giants crossed the sea. Seemed like the battles would never end. Poor folk like myself have nary a place to sleep. That's why I keep all me things right with me. You may travel light, but methinks you bear a burden of your own. They say these trees grew from the remains of the giants. From each carcass sprouted new life growing into what you see now. But you know what they also say? Don't believe what an old hag says. It's high time that I pick up and move. I've a bargain for you next time we meet, my love. Lonely times these are.
So she tells us that this place is Dring Lake, and it got attacked by giants. And where the giants died, trees sprouted. She also gave us that blacksmith's key. So, somehow she wound up with it. So she's a weird old hag who carries everything around on her back and has just sort of like turned it into a store. It's a pretty cool idea for a character. Reminds me a little bit of Dark Souls 3, the Londor clerics, how they have like that turtle shell. But the Londor cleric's turtle shell is built to keep their humanity inside of them. The Londor clerics obviously fuck around with dark sigils and dark sign, and they draw humanity out of it, which is a thing that the Dark Souls 3 player character starts without. Like, you don't go hollow in Dark Souls 3 because you don't have you don't have like the sign on you, right? But then when you meet Yol, if you have him draw out your true strength, it gives you like dark sigil, which is like a hole in your body, and from the hole your humanity can flow. So we start running into hollows in Dark Souls 3 very early on, and they're hollow, unlike us, and humanity sort of like explodes out of them, goes wild, and they turn into like a pus of man, right? So like they wear those turtle shells that make sense as a sort of like fail-safe to keep the humanity like locked inside of themselves. Hers is more of just like a matter of convenience. Like I was here when giants attacked, and you couldn't sleep anywhere, so just like where you were was your house. So her house is like where she goes. She gave us the blacksmith's key. Lenigrast's key opens the Blacksmith Lenigrast shop in Majula. Majula, the land of exiles, is comprised of abandoned old houses, one of which Lenigrast has fashioned into a workshop. Oh, there might be a chest in that dark room. I might have missed it.
Ah, yes, very good. Now I can get to work. But first, let me set up. Come again later.
Translation. From Software doesn't have I stand up and go sit down at my blacksmith animation.
You, stand back. This is dangerous work. The name's Lenigrast. Just a simple blacksmith. And you are... another useless traveler.
Hey!
A man ought to labor with his feet planted firmly in the earth. Not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds. Oh, what does it matter? Go on, show me what you've got. Your equipment. Let me have a look. But do it quick.
Alright. So, we want to repair our old whip. It only has 40 durability, which is awful. But that's what it's got. He also sells 10 Titanite shards, which we need. We really need to upgrade our armor. We're in New Game Plus, everything does more damage, and our armor is +0, which is not good. There we go. It's at least +5 now.
Drat. You're worse than my reckless daughter. Don't spend your whole life in transit, you hear? You'll need souls to repair and improve equipment.
I know.
I know only of smithing, but souls have many other uses as well. Don't waste your souls on useless trinkets. Think before you spend.
That's honestly, like, good advice.
Equipment can be strengthened with rare orestone, but such orestone won't come easily. My girl knows her stones, but she's always out prancing about. Now, there's a time for travels, but you can't wander the world forever. Even you must have someone waiting back home. Drat. Don't spend it.
So,
I'll be around.
when we talk to him, he's like, yeah, you shouldn't wander around all the damn time. You should, you know, stay somewhere. And, he kind of gives us an earful for just being an adventurer. And then it turns out that he gives us an earful for being an adventurer because his daughter is an adventurer, and he's mad because she's not at home. Now, Melentia says that she's gonna leave. She will. She'll return to Majula and become like a permanent vendor there. But before she does that, we have to beat the boss. Somebody said there was a chest in here. Ah, you were right. There is a chest in here. Nothing great, but that repair powder is actually quite handy, since the old whip has such bad durability. Wake up, jerk! Oh wait, before we go into the keep proper, let's have a look over here. Whoa! Getting my ass whipped. I'm curious if anything over here has changed in New Game Plus. Typically you can tell if it's changed because there will be like dark spirit enemies. So the way the power stancing moveset works, I can choose to power stance, or I can choose not to. It's up to me. I just press or hold the two-hand button. And you can switch back and forth, you know, anytime you want. And your pose, your stance, kind of tells you what you're doing, right? So the L1 and the L2 are unique to your power stance, but you lose access to like the S-Stock moveset. For me, I'm losing access to the S-Stock moveset unless I press triangle, and then I get it back. The L1 and the L2 obviously hit twice, so they're slower. But the way Dark Souls 2 works is you kind of get like a warm-up. When you press, like if you press R2, you have like, you know, it takes a second. But if you hit somebody with an R1 and then an R2, the R2 startup is much faster. And it's the same with the power stance. So like the R1 into L1 or the R1 into L2 is a little quicker. So it's like, it's better to like approach your enemy and like hit him with like an R1 and then the L1. We do get to keep the L1 as a backstep attack and a running attack. So that's something to keep in mind. As well as rolling. Thank you, Maldron. Yeah, Power Stance is one of the ones that, like, people who play Dark Souls 2 and like Dark Souls 2, you know, one of the big reasons they always cite is how much they love power stancing. I'm kind of meh on it, you know? Like, it's fine. I think it's definitely better than L1 blocking. Like, you try and block an attack with your S-Stock. That's silly. Especially if it's not going to do anything special. One of the things that they showed off in Elden Ring that kind of has me excited is blocking with your weapon leads to a counterattack that you can do. And so that's interesting. That's infinitely better than like, oh, I just block with my L1 button. That's so silly. It's so dumb. Even if you don't care about power stancing, you do have to admit that Dark Souls 2 letting you just have the full moveset of a weapon is, you know, better than blocking uselessly with an S-Stock or whatever, or a dagger. I would rather have access to the full moveset than have access to, like, the world's worst block. In terms of, like, efficiency, power stancing is kind of, like, not great. It's not like it does, like, insane damage. And the stamina cost... The stamina cost is, like, real. Because you're swinging both weapons. So, like, it does require more stamina to do it. But, like, who really gives a shit about efficiency when you have something that looks that cool? And, like, while I'm kind of meh on it, a lot of people think it looks awesome. And so if it looks awesome, then it's worth doing regardless. So we're down here in the Forest of Fallen Giants. We're now in, like, the keep proper. And we are fighting these royal swordsmen. What did he just drop us? Are they hollow infantry boots? Is that what he dropped? We'll get a chance to look at. The soul of a lost undead. Space Chris, Colt, hello, welcome. It's interesting that, like, you know, a war is, like, always going to, like, take a toll on a kingdom, right? And sort of shape the kingdom and be a part of, like, the kingdom's history. In a... Ow. In a way. What's fun about the Dark Souls 2, like, the Giants, is, like, not only did it, like, shape the lore and the backstory of Drang Lake, but, like, it also physically shapes the landscape. Because the Giants' roots have... Oh, shit. The Giants' roots have, like, physically altered... Would you stop it? They have, like, physically altered the world. That was a weird guy. If I'm not mistaken, there's a Titanite shard over here. And we do need regular Titanite shards. We need them bad. To upgrade our armor, and I would like to upgrade this broadsword. It might be fun to, like, use a broadsword instead of the straight sword. And then power stance that. We also have our old whip back, but I'm not gonna waste old whip durability on these mook enemies. The old whip is that's like a boss killer. It does so much damage, it's crazy. It's so wild how strong the old whip is. To give you an idea, I don't know if I showed it off. But the old whip, unupgraded, had, I think, a better AR than a +10 notched whip if it wasn't better, it was like literally only slightly worse. So of course, you know, when it's fully upgraded, it's much better. Old good, new bad. Does Cale throw that rock? I don't think he throws it. I think he accidentally sets it off. It would be fun to see somebody... it would be fun to see somebody, like, get into the game's guts and show you where that rock actually comes from. I suspect it's kept in here. And then when you walk in, that's the trigger and it just rolls out. But yeah, I think we're supposed to come to the conclusion that Cale did it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just daydreaming, I think. My name is Cale. I'm a traveler, like yourself. I'm navigating the continent to create a map. Why cartography, you ask? Well, that's a good question. When I first came to this forsaken land, it was... a curse? Something about a curse. How embarrassing. I seem to have lost my focus.
You're spoiling my focus.
But I do know one thing for certain. I have always been very fond of maps.
So this nerd just likes maps. He came here, something about the curse brought him here. Then he got here and he was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna make a map.
I came to this land some time ago. Drang Lake, the Lost Kingdom. It sounded so romantic. Have you seen Majula? Oh, there's a rather spacious mansion there. I've made it my temporary home. Well, as something of a squatter, I'm afraid. Inside the mansion, I found a strange map, like none I'd ever seen. I believe that it's a map of Drang Lake. Now I'm traveling the land to prove it. Yes, that's it. That's why I came to the kingdom. Wait, no.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That wasn't it.
How would you know there was a map in there?
Then what? I don't seem to recall. Were you looking for that map? Wonderful. Then you're fascinated by maps, just like me. Shame on you. You should have told me before. Here, take this. A key to the mansion. What a joy to meet a kindred spirit out here.
So...
incredible, really, isn't it? Such
I think I have to talk to him more to
chiseled
get him to
in
go back to
stone.
Drang Lake, so I'm gonna make sure I do that.
Oh, I would not venture deep into the mansion. I can't be certain, but I've heard disturbing noises. Something about it feels wrong. Just be careful, please. I'll be back in Majula soon. Perhaps we will meet again.
There we go. Yeah, as always, you have to talk to them until they're like, I'm going to leave this place. And then you're good. So, I mean, he's just a nerd. He came here probably for the same reason we did. Somebody led him here and was like, yo, you're cursed. If you want to break the curse, you can go to Drang Lake and break the curse there. And so he came here. And then once he got here, he was just kind of like, I like maps. He's like that little kid who's dressed up like a zombie. And they're like, oh, you're a zombie. And he's like, I like turtles. Like, he's just completely forgotten what the hell was going on. And just sort of like, I like maps. Ooh, Sir Grey Fox. Stream sniping. I see you, stream sniper. Coming to kill me, huh? Oh no! He's using it against me! Oh Lord! Oh, you punk! You dishonorable scum! How dare you! How dare you! It is a cool looking character though. He's wearing the penal mask and the straight jacket, and then he's got like the pyro flame and the possessed sword from the Iron King DLC. And he's really got a this is why it's a lore run, because I'm explaining my Invaders builds in lore. So anyway, he's like a fire guy. He's like a locked up fire guy who's like old and withered away. Pretty cool, actually. I like that build. Wake up! Covenant of Champions, just so, I don't know, it's just fun. Also, my enemies won't despawn if I die too much. That despawning enemy stuff makes me mad. I hate it. It's like when a game is like, oh, you seem to be dying a lot. Would you like to go to easy mode? Like, no, I don't want to go to easy mode. I would like to keep playing my game. Please don't ask me questions. Would you hit the damn thing? Oh, now you hit it. Now you hit it, you jerk. Get out of here. Let's see if we can get this guy to blow up the wall for us. Oh, come on. Your tracking is not that good. You threw a... Should have bought some crossbow bolts. Is what I should have done. My man got dropped off by a bird. Ow. Shit. I don't know how to do this with, I don't know how to do this with, bare hand parries, or whatever the hell you want to call this. Woo! Fuck! I don't know when to do it. I made a mistake. That was dumb. I don't know if he actually respawns or not. Like, if he comes back and... Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Screw you. Would you just fall down? Nerd? What are you doing? Oh, shit. Woo. Okay, the pursuer does not come back. Armor worn by hollowed royal soldiers. Appears to be crafted with quality materials, but is highly degraded and close to falling apart. Wearing this will be of little use. All right. So no what you call it. No round 2 with the pursuer. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put a little split in the VOD right here, because I need to take a little bit of a break. Just a little bit. And this would be a good place for a VOD split, anywho. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll be back in just a minute. I appreciate y'all watching, and thanks for hanging out. And we'll be back before you know it.